let's talk about a word that, let's be honest, most of us kind of dread: discipline. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if discipline isn't about being in a cage or punishment or living some boring, restricted life? What if it's actually the one thing, the single key that unlocks true freedom and a life that's packed with purpose? We are going to dive deep into this because I promise we're about to completely flip the script on how you see your daily choices. So here's our roadmap for today. First, we're going to hit the uncomfortable truth about why we get stuck. Then we'll redefine discipline as freedom. And, we'll name the enemy that's holding us back. We'll get into the incredible power of tiny, everyday actions, connect it all to our destiny, and then, at the very end, I'll give you the exact first step you can take the second this is over. So, let's get to it. All right, so let's just be real for a second. We all have this picture in our mind, right? The person we want to be, the things we want to accomplish. But then there's the reality of today. And a lot of the time, there's this massive, super frustrating gap between the two. This first part is all about looking that gap right in the eye and figuring out why we stay stuck there. And here it is. This is the bedrock for everything we're going to talk about. The source material is just crystal clear on this point. Greatness is not an accident. It doesn't just show up because you're talented or because you got lucky. Nope, it is a direct result of discipline. That's not just an idea. It's presented like a law of the universe for a life of purpose. Oh man, doesn't this slide just hit home? Look at the left side. Growth, purpose, accomplishment, a great life. Yeah, that's what we want deep down. But then look at the right side. That's what we do. We say we want growth, but we cook up excuses for why today isn't the day. We want a life of purpose, but we smash that snooze button, literally pushing off the start of our day. We want to feel accomplished, but we end the day just feeling busy with nothing to really show for it. And the biggest thief of all, I'll get to it later. This gap right here, it's the source of so much frustration, and it's the exact problem discipline is here to solve. Okay, so we've laid out the problem. Now for the solution. And it all starts with a total shift in how we think. If you've always seen discipline as a prison, get ready. We're about to see it as the key that opens the lock. This right here, this is the absolute heart of our whole conversation. Seriously, let this sink in for a second. Discipline is not about torturing yourself or forcing yourself to do things you despise. It's an act of choosing. It's about that moment when you're tempted to just scroll for another hour or eat the junk food or just quit. And you pause and ask yourself a simple question. Does this serve what I want right this second? Or does it serve the person I really, truly want to become? Every single time you make the choice for your future self, that's discipline. It's a choice, my friends, not a punishment. And look at where those choices lead. This is the payoff. People think discipline boxes you in. The source says it's the complete opposite. Discipline with your health gives you the freedom of having energy. Discipline with your money gives you the freedom from the stress of debt. Discipline in learning a skill gives you the freedom of having more opportunities. It doesn't shrink your world, it expands it. It builds a life with more options, which is the definition of true freedom. I just love this line. Think about it. What does a best friend do? They want what's actually best for you, even when you don't want to hear it. They push you. They hold you accountable. That's what discipline does. It's you today being a good friend to you tomorrow. It has your back in a way that fleeting things like motivation or inspiration never can, because discipline shows up every single day, whether you feel like it or not. So, if discipline is this amazing best friend, why is it so incredibly hard to hang out with? Why do we get all fired up and then fizzle out a few weeks later? In this section, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the forces that are working against us, so we can finally understand what we're up against. Our source talks about an enemy. You can think of it as that little voice in your head, the one that loves procrastination, comfort, and the easy way out. It's the voice that whispers, you're too tired, or just start tomorrow, or it's not that big a deal. Its only goal is to keep you right where you are, comfortable, average, and never quite reaching for the great things you're capable of. Just recognizing that voice for what it is, an opponent to your goals, is half the battle. And this is the perfect weapon against that enemy voice. One of the main reasons we quit is because we're impatient. We put in the work for a week, maybe a month, and we don't see this huge transformation. This verse from Galatians is such a great reminder that this is a farming process. You don't plant a seed and expect a giant oak tree the next morning, right? You have to water it, you have to be patient, and you have to trust that at the right time, the harvest is coming. The whole key is just don't give up before it's harvest time. Okay, I want to pause here for a second and actually hear from you. We all have something that trips us up. For me, sometimes it's just getting started. For others, it might be consistency or time or feeling overwhelmed. What about you? What's your biggest challenge when it comes to building a new habit? Drop it in the comments. Let's talk about this together and see what we can learn from each other. All right, so let's keep building here. We've covered the why and the what. Now we get to the how. And the secret isn't some huge, heroic, one-time act of willpower. It's actually found in something much, much smaller and way more powerful. President Truman just nails it with this quote. Before you can lead anything, a team, a family, a business, you first have to learn how to lead yourself. That very first victory, the most important one, is one in those quiet moments. It's one when you choose to get out of bed instead of hitting snooze. It's one when you choose to do the workout when you'd rather sit on the couch. Mastering yourself, that comes first. This idea is so freeing. You don't have to overhaul your entire life by midnight tonight. You just have to focus on making the next right small choice. Greatness isn't like winning the lottery, it's more like a savings account. Every small disciplined choice is like making a small deposit. It might not look like much today, but over time, with consistency, that compound interest is unbelievable. That's how a great life is built. One small, good decision at a time. And just look at how this whole process stacks up. It begins with those small, faithful actions, doing the thing you said you'd do, even when nobody's watching. That simple practice starts to build powerful internal structures, like forging your character. That character then builds resilience, so when life knocks you down, and it will, you get back up. And all of this, the actions, the character, the resilience, that's what prepares you, so that when a huge, life-changing opportunity comes along, you weren't just lucky, you were ready for it. And this isn't some complicated, abstract idea. Here's what it actually looks like. It's kind of boring. It's going to bed at a reasonable hour. It's getting up when your alarm goes off. It's drinking water, eating good food. It's about looking at the hard work and just doing it instead of trying to find a shortcut. These are the little daily battlegrounds where character and greatness are forged. Okay, now we're going to zoom out. We've been looking at the nuts and bolts of daily habits, but why does any of this really matter in the grand scheme of things? This next part connects our tiny daily choices to the biggest questions we can ask, questions about our destiny, our values, and our faith. Just let that one sit there for a minute. Your destiny isn't some mysterious path that's already laid out for you. No, your destiny is the place you end up after walking the path of your daily habits. The person you will be in 5 years is a direct result of what you consistently do today. Right now, in this moment, you are actively creating your destiny with every little choice you make. Oof, this is a tough one. If you want to know what you truly value in your life, don't listen to what you say. Look at what you do. Where do you apply discipline? If you're super disciplined at work but not with your health, what does that say about what you really value? If you're disciplined in the gym but not in your relationships, what does that reveal? Your habits are like a perfect mirror, showing you exactly what your priorities really are. And that brings us to the ultimate question, doesn't it? Discipline without a target is just busy work. It has to be aimed at something. It has to serve a bigger purpose. So what's yours? What's the big why that's going to pull you out of bed on a cold, dark morning? What's the purpose that drives you forward? I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Let's inspire each other. And for those of us who approach life through the lens of faith, the source makes it really clear. Discipline isn't just a nice to have, it's a must have. It's presented as a vital part of living out your faith, of being a good steward of the time and the gifts you've been given. It's about making sure your daily actions line up with your deepest beliefs. Okay, we have covered so much ground. We know the what, we know the why, and we know the how. But all this theory in the world doesn't mean anything without action. This last section is all about turning that inspiration into something you can do today, right now, no more later. The source gives us two beautifully simple yet incredibly powerful places to start. Read a portion of the Word of God every day and pray and talk to God every day. Now, even if you come from a different background, the core principle is universal. Start with a small, consistent act that grounds you in your purpose. For some, that's scripture and prayer. For others, maybe it's 10 minutes of meditation or journaling or reading philosophy. The key is to start your day by connecting with your why. That builds the mental and spiritual foundation for everything else to grow on. When it all comes down to it, life gives you a choice between two different kinds of pain. And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. The pain of discipline, it weighs ounces. The pain of regret, that weighs tons. The burn in your muscles from a workout is temporary. The regret of a healthy life you never had is forever. Discipline is a choice you get to make today. Regret is the consequence of all the choices you didn't make yesterday.
So, the final question is for you, and only you can answer it. Which pain are you choosing? The short-term discomfort that leads to strength and freedom and a life of purpose? Or the long-term crushing weight of knowing you could have been more? You could have done more. The choice is yours to make, right now.
If you were inspired by anything we talked about today, please do us a huge favor and hit like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Be Thankful. And feel free to share this with anyone you think might need to hear it. Thank you so much for your time, and God bless.